So this is if you would like to figure out how to set up chi-squared with your IA, you don't want to categorize all the countries. This is a simple example from the spreadsheet Mr. Moss Emery shared. Um, and so what you're going to want to do is figure out what's going to go in my chi-squared table. So I'm ignoring the countries right now. If you want to do that, you can watch the other video. So I'm looking at the poison deaths and the literacy rate. And so what I can do is find some of the values here. So let's say I want to find out the mean of the literacy rate. So I'm going to do that. I can also look back on my page and find it, but I'm just going to do it since it's right here. It's in your one variable descriptive statistics. You already did it. So the mean is 84.78. So I could set my boundaries because I know those data values are pretty well bunched together. I could set my values for less than the mean and greater than or equal to the mean. So if you want, you could go through here and mark anything that's less than or greater than or equal to. The other thing that I already did, and I showed you guys in class, but if you forgot, is I can highlight those data values and sort them by poisoning deaths. Notice how I highlighted all of them so they don't unpair with each other. So now it's going to be easier to put them in my table. For the poisoning deaths, if you look back at the descriptive statistics for poisoning deaths, we have a mean of 1.12 and a median of 0.76. So I already know the median. So what I'm going to do is find some other values there. So I'm going to go over to where I was at, if I can get those to go. And I got to decide, what are these ranges going to be? Well, one thing you could do is find the quartiles. And so to do the quartiles on here, you type in quartile and you can do exclusive or inclusive. I'm just going to do exclusive and say, I want to find the quartiles for this set of data. You could type in the numbers or just highlight. I want to find the first quartile, and I just drugged it down because I want to find the third quartile. And then I can do the median. I can get it from my other paper too, but this does the median for you. So I have the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile. I know the min, I know the max. The min's 0.12, the max is 3.78. So a way to do this, notice I'm putting a single quote in there so it doesn't turn into a weird number. I could say, well, I could do my lower quartile value, and then I could do from 0.42 to the median, which is the next section, 0.76. And I could go 0.77 to the upper quartile, which is 1.59. And I could go 1.60, which is the next value up, to the max, which was 3.78. And so that gives me a rhyme or reason as to how I'm going to group these things. And then I just need to tally. So for instance, these are all low on the poisoning death. and greater than the mean on literacy rate. So if I were tallying there, I put 4 marks right there. And then I go to the next one. And this one happens to be lower poisoning death, but the literacy rate is low. So I would copy this table onto a piece of paper and then just go through one by one. If you want to make it easier, you could color code this. So this has got to go up to 0.41. So you could make all of those a different color so it's easier to count. And then do the next quartile in those values. So that's one way you could set it up. You could do median. If your values are really far out from each other, really spread out, you might not want to use mean. You might use median here. But you need to have at least a 2x3 table. So if you do 3 values over here, you need to talk about why you picked them. And you can have different reasons, but that should help you figure out what you're doing there. Okay, so work on getting those boundaries so you can tally them up, and then you can watch the video on how to actually make the chi-squared.